Welcome to The Explainer. There's a question that keeps a ton of business leaders up at night, and it's this. Is my e-commerce platform actually helping me grow, or is it secretly holding me back? Today, we're going to dig in and find out.
Yeah, your e-commerce platform should be a launch pad, not a limitation. If that quote hits home for you, well, you're definitely not alone. So many businesses get to this point where the tech that got them started just can't take them where they need to go next. So, what's the game plan? All right, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the growth ceiling, then dive into the hidden costs of inaction. After that, we'll look at the future-proof solution, see how it powers B2B operations, and finally, give you your migration playbook. Let's get started. Okay, Section 1, the growth ceiling. This is all about when your platform just can't keep up. So how do you really know you've outgrown your system? Well, the truth is, the warning signs are probably things you're already frustrated with every single day. So, do any of these sound familiar? Your site crawling to a halt during a huge sale, a clunky checkout process that makes customers just give up, or maybe adding a simple new feature feels like it takes weeks instead of days. And don't even get me started on complex B2B workflows or a weak mobile experience. Look, these are not just minor headaches. They're actual cracks in your foundation that are leaking revenue and eroding the trust you've built with your customers.
Okay, moving on to the hidden costs of just doing nothing. Because let's be real, it's tempting to just patch things up and keep going, right? But staying put is a huge risk. The cost of inaction can be way, way bigger and a lot sneakier than you think.
So many businesses get caught in what's called plugin sprawl. It's this vicious cycle, right? You need a new feature, so you add a plugin. Then another, and another. Pretty soon you're trying to manage this tangled mess of apps that don't talk to each other, creating constant security headaches and compatibility nightmares. It's not just draining your budget, it's stealing your team's time and creativity away from what really matters, innovation. And let's talk about performance. This number is just staggering. For every single second, just 1 second, of delay in your page load time, you can lose up to 7% of your conversions. Think about that. It's like a silent leak in your revenue bucket, and it adds up fast. So really, it boils down to this choice right here. On one side, you have the old way, this patchwork quilt of third-party plugins you're constantly trying to stitch together. It's fragile, it's risky. On the other side, you've got the new way, a solid, secure platform where all the essential features are built right in. They just work right out of the box. It's the difference between constant maintenance and real momentum.
All right, so that leads us perfectly into the solution. And I want to be clear here, this is about more than just swapping out one piece of software for another. This is about a whole new way of thinking, a new philosophy for building a truly modern, future-proof foundation for your business.
And the key concept here is something called composable commerce. Seriously, the best way to think about it is like building with a giant set of high-tech Legos. Instead of being stuck with one pre-built plastic castle that you can't change, you get to pick the absolute best brick for every single job. The best content management system, the best payment gateway, the best search tool, and you click them all together to build something that is perfectly, uniquely yours.
What this does is give you incredible flexibility. Your e-commerce platform becomes the central hub. And all your other systems, your ERP, your CMS, whatever, they all just connect to it seamlessly. So if you decide you want a new, better Lego brick for search next year, no problem. You just swap that one piece out without having to rebuild the entire castle. It's a total game changer. And the benefits? They are not subtle. We're talking about being able to innovate and launch new things 3 times faster. Seeing your site's load times get up to 60% faster. Remember what we said about that 7% conversion drop per second? And on top of all that, you're actually lowering the cost of making changes down the road. It's faster, better, and cheaper in the long run.
And here is the kicker. This whole thing, it's not a cost. It's an investment. And the return on that investment is massive. We're talking an average ROI of 211% by the 3rd year. That's not just a small win. That's a fundamental shift in the financial health of your business.
Okay, theory is great, but let's get practical. Let's look at how this all works in the real world, specifically for B2B businesses, because we all know that's where the complexity really ramps up.
So a huge one is ERP integration. For any B2B company, this is absolutely non-negotiable. You need your website and your core business system talking to each other perfectly, all the time. This is what creates that single source of truth, meaning everyone, from sales to the warehouse floor, is looking at the exact same up-to-the-minute data on inventory, orders, and customers. No more guessing.
And then there's subscriptions. This is another area where off-the-shelf tools just fall flat for B2B. They're built for, a simple monthly coffee subscription. But B2B is a whole different beast. Think about a construction company trying to manage recurring orders. They need to send different supplies to dozens of different job sites, let site managers adjust quantities on the fly, and have corporate approve the changes. Your standard subscription tool just can't do that.
So what does a real B2B portal look like? It's all about giving your customers true self-service control. We're talking about things like role-based permissions, so a junior employee can place an order, but a manager has to approve it, letting them edit their own delivery schedules on demand, handling complex logic to ship to multiple warehouses or job sites, all of it syncing perfectly with your ERP and inventory. This isn't just about taking an order. It's about making your customers' lives easier and becoming an indispensable partner.
Okay, the vision is powerful, right? But now comes the big question. How do you actually get there? I know, the idea of a replatforming project can sound, well, terrifying. But it doesn't have to be. With the right playbook, you can turn this daunting idea into a clear, manageable plan.
First things first, let's bust some myths, because there are a couple of big fears that stop projects like this dead in their tracks. The number one fear? Replatforming will absolutely kill my SEO.
Well, here's the fact. That is simply not true. With proper planning, and I'm talking about a meticulous strategy for things like 301 redirects, you can not only protect your rankings, but you could actually improve them. Think about it. It's a golden opportunity to fix old structural issues, boost your site speed, and build a much healthier SEO foundation for the long haul.
Okay, myth number 2, and it's another big one. We're going to have a ton of downtime and lose a bunch of sales during the switch. Fact? Nope, you don't have to. Smart migrations are done in phases. You keep your current site running, making money, while you build a brand new one behind the scenes. It really is like moving houses. You get the new one completely set up, tested, and ready to go before you even think about leaving the old one. Then, when it's time, you just flip a switch. It's seamless. So here's what that playbook looks like, broken down into 3 simple phases. First, pre-migration. This is all about planning, auditing your current site, and getting everyone on the same page. Do your homework first. Second, execution. This is where you build everything out in a safe, separate staging environment. Nothing on your live site is touched. And finally, the post-migration launch. This is all about testing, and more testing, checking your analytics, and making sure everything is perfect. See? It's not one giant leap, it's a series of smart, manageable steps.
So, we'll leave you with this one final thought. Your technology, it really is the engine of your business. So you have to ask yourself, honestly, is that engine powerful enough to get you where you're trying to go? Is it still the launchpad it was meant to be, or has it become the very limitation you're trying to escape? Thanks for joining us on the